Hello, everybody. I have decided to do this next series on questioning churches and religion. And one of the reasons is because not only do I feel like I'm hearing that from a bunch of people, but it's something that I personally experience deeply. So in starting this series out, I'm going to go through my story, but I highly suggest that you do subscribe to this, like it, share it with somebody else who might be struggling with the same things, and most certainly leave your comments because I will respond to them, and it may even change what topics we cover in this series. So again, we're going to start with the number one is my personal story on how I ended up questioning churches and religion, and oddly, how it brought me to where I am today. So this goes back to when I was in high school. I was a band member, and I was dating a majorette, and her older brother was living with somebody. We were all members of the Catholic religion at that time, and he wanted to get married to this girl, so he went into the priest to talk to him about wanting to get married to this girl. And this may not come as a surprise to some of you, but that priest not only told him he couldn't marry him because he was living with the girl, but he damned them both to hell. Well, that started my de-churched experience. I got very upset. As a high school senior, I believe at the time, went marching into this priest and told him that I thought he needed to reread his Bible, because nowhere in there would he find where he was given the authority to damn somebody to hell. And that started my adventure. I started out searching out everything from Christian Scientology to Buddhism to anything I could find to put my hands on. And the Lord was still watching over me, or my common sense, or maybe both. But I ended up not settling on anything, because I still believed in God. I can't imagine how this whole world and all the stuff that goes on it could be through anything else other than God. And I still believed in Jesus. But I did not believe in church. And I did not like churches at all. I did not like the messages I was seeing from them at all. So I spent many decades de-churched. I then ended up back into the church once we had children, my wife and I. And this was a non-denominational church for the most part. I was at that time considered a successful business person in the community. So I was asked to help raise funds to get their tithes in. I felt very uncomfortable, did not feel right doing this at all. And it again left me feeling very insecure with the church, because as I now understand it, the Bible not only tells us, once we move to the next New Testament, that we don't have to tithe. We don't have to give it all to the church, number two. Number three, when they used to tithe in the Old Testament, it was agricultural goods, not money. Number 3 or 4, wherever I am, yes, I think the New Testament still tells us to be generous, and I want to give more than I can possibly imagine right now. But I don't think it needs to all go to the church, and it depends on your circumstance. If you're going to a church, then yes, some of your giving probably ought to go to support that church and that minister, pastor, whoever's preaching to you, and the environment where you go to hear his message. But it doesn't have to all go there. There are plenty of other good places that you can bring your money. So again, I spent a long time de-churched again. About 3 years ago, my home got hit with a hurricane and got brought down to stud walls and cement floors. And at the same time, I had just completed my first cancer treatment. Now let me back up a step here, because about a year before that, or 2 years before that, I don't remember exactly, my oldest daughter and her husband fell into a very bad drug problem and got saved through a program called Teen Challenge, which was an immersive program. And when I say saved, yes, in more ways than one, and they're totally off the drugs now. It's a wonderful program, and it's not just for teens. So back to my cancer treatment, which, yes, by the way, I'm cancer-free right now. But here I found myself on my back lanai in a house down to stud walls and cement floors and going through cancer treatments. And I wasn't whining, I wasn't crying. I was on the back lanai counting my blessings. And I still had plenty, including sitting there in the sunshine on my back lanai looking out at my pontoon boat in the river behind my house. Canal, closed-in canal. Anyway, my point is this. I then grew a Facebook group that's now over 300 called Let's Count Our Blessings Every Day. I got involved in an online ministry called the Church Digital. I talk to Jesus every day, and I try to do it throughout the day. I read my Bible every day, not just to read it, but to have a conversation. I read other books like this. I have gone from de-churched, unchurched, whatever you want to call it, to over-immersed. I now need to be careful that I also don't get so involved I'd ignore the world around me. But my point is this. I still consider myself not a big fan of churches in general or religion in general. I don't think Jesus was real fond of churches or religion in the way that I am not fond of them. Do I think they are not necessary? No, that is not true. I think there is a place for churches, and I think some of us need churches where we can physically go and attend and commune with each other and support each other and give each other encouragement. Do I believe in religion? Well, that's a tricky one, because what is religion? I believe in Christianity, I believe in Jesus, I believe in God. And I believe we all need to be the church, whether you go to a church or not, and we all need to show Jesus to everybody, no matter who they are. So that's my story, my thoughts on it. But I would really love to hear your story and your thoughts on it. So let me know, are you questioning things too? What questions do you wish more Christians were willing to discuss honestly? Put it in the comments. I might bring it up on the next video. Drop your thoughts, experiences, questions. This is a safe place for conversation. Also, be sure and visit gopwg.com. That's go, PWG, like partnerwithgod.com. You'll find all kinds of free resources. Nothing in there is going to cost you money, but it'll help everybody from somebody who is not a Christian, an atheist, to Christians that just want to explore deeper into their journey. Whatever the case may be, you'll find answers in there for it. And if you don't see it, let me know and I'll add it to that page. Be sure also and subscribe if you want to join me on this journey of honest faith exploration. New episodes are coming soon, and there we will tackle specific questions about hell, biblical interpretation, church hurt, and much, much more. Guys, I truly hope you'll stick with me. You'll comment on this. You'll let me know what else you want to hear on. And I truly hope you have a blessed day, week, month, year. You know what? Just have a blessed life and share it with somebody.